everybody and welcome to Flock Talk. Today what we're going to be doing is showing your bird how to station. What stationing is pointing your finger at any location and your bird's going to fly to it. Now how we train this is you're going to need a target stick, your bird is going to have to be target trained, and you're going to need some treats and a clicker. Now if your bird isn't target trained, not 100% necessary, I just find it's a lot easier to train this concept if they already know how to follow a target stick. All targeting is orienting a part of their body towards an object. In most cases, it's their beak touching the end of a stick. If your bird isn't target trained, you can also just replace me whenever I'm saying use a target stick with holding a treat between your fingers and using that instead. So what we're going to do here is we're going to start off and our fingers are going to be in this position. And the reason for this is we want the bird to be here and we want them to be fully capable of just comfortably walking from our fingers onto the perch. We don't want to be doing it like this quite yet because that's a pretty big distance. That's pretty scary for a bird who's never done this before. So we want it to be like this so they can just walk, they can move just one toe onto the perch, they can move their whole foot onto the perch, any way that is most comfortable for them to slowly work up to it. Some birds might be okay hopping straight off the bat, and if that's the way your bird wants to learn, go ahead and start from there. But if your bird is a little bit more nervous or a little bit slower to understand the concept, you can start your hand like this and just let them walk. As you can see, Zeevee just demonstrated there. Basically, so what you're going to do is once your bird is target trained, as Zeevee will demonstrate, she'll run right over, she'll be eager to touch the stick, and she'll earn herself a reward. We're going to utilize that here, and we're going to ask the bird to step up when she's done eating. Good girl. We're going to set up our hand, and we're going to try and get Zeevee to cooperate. We're going to set up, Zeevee, come here. We're going to set up our hand, and we're going to put the stick on the other side of the perch so the bird will walk over. And we're going to click as soon as their feet contact the perch. Again, if your bird only puts one foot on, that's totally fine. You can reward them for that and then gradually work up to them getting both feet on the perch. Just remember, you're just rewarding for any progress made moving towards the perch. So again, on the other side, then they walk over. And you're just going to do this over and over again until the bird is as eager to step onto that perch as Zeevee is right now. Once they're totally okay doing this, and you're clicking and rewarding every time their feet contact the perch, you can change the position of your hand from this position to this way, still keeping it close enough that they can just take a step. Your bird might need you to be a lot closer, your bird might need you to be a little bit farther away, really depends on the species and the way your bird is learning. So again, we're going to go like this, on the other side, reward as soon as her feet touch the perch. And you're just going to repeat that process again over and over and over again until they're totally comfortable and confident doing that. Once your bird is doing okay with this, we're going to change the way that we're targeting them. So up until this point, I've just been holding the stick regularly and having it on the back side of the perch to draw them over. This time, because we don't want to be using the stick every single time you want them to station somewhere, we're going to start disguising it as our finger. So we're going to use it as a little bit of an extension of our finger and make it fairly visible to start off. We're going to ask Zeevee to step up again and just point. Now your bird might take a little bit to get used to this. They might try and stretch from your finger to the target stick. Totally fine, just kind of adjust the way you're using it. Try and really get them moving so that they're getting onto that perch and they understand that getting onto the perch is what's earning them the reward. Over time, you start to increase the distance a little bit. Come here. And you're just going to continue pointing. As soon as your bird is totally okay, they're understanding that you are clicking when their feet touch the perch, not for touching the stick. We're actually trying to take away the stick before they're able to touch it, so that way they know what's going on here. So as you can see, Zeevee comes here, I point, I click as soon as your feet touch the perch. We're not going to make her walk all the way over to the stick. As soon as you've got that down, they're totally good with that, you can hide the stick a bit more until just a little bit of it's hiding. And you're going to do the same thing. You may need to back up if your bird isn't understanding right away, because sometimes if the stick starts hiding, they don't really understand what to do. So you're just going to make it a little bit more visible if that happens. Remember to just make it gradually smaller as you go along until it's basically hidden behind your finger. And what you're going to see happen is hidden behind my finger and she's still following it because she knows that that's what she's supposed to be doing. What we've been doing is gradually transitioning that following the stick is what earns them a reward to following the finger is what's earning them a reward. When your bird is fully confident moving from this, following your finger with the stick hiding behind it, you can just get rid of the stick. Nobody needs it anymore. If you find your bird has regressed a little bit, you might need to bring the stick back. But most of the time, once you've started hiding the stick a bit, they will be totally okay just following wherever your finger is pointing, and they won't care. Just remember you don't want them like grabbing onto your finger or anything, because sometimes that can initiate aggressive behavior. You just want pointing and they'll fly over. So as you go through this, what you may find happen is that you won't need to be moving in as small steps anymore. From this point, you were like this distance, then this distance, then this distance, and it starts getting, it seems like it's going to take a long time for you to get on the other side of the room. But what ends up happening is when you reach about here, the bird is pretty confident with what they're doing that you can start to increase in greater distances. So rather than moving an inch at a time, I can now jump from here, maybe over here, and ask her to perch. And she'll go for it. Now what I do ask of you during this is that you aren't pushing your bird too hard. If your bird has been clipped in the past or they are currently clipped, do not make them fly farther than they are physically capable of doing. Birds need time to develop their flight muscles, and if they don't do a lot of flying all that often, this is their first time being introduced to it, they may end up struggling to fly the distances that you want them to, no matter how much you think that they can. If your bird is panting by the time it's making it to that perch, or they're really struggling to fly there, you are going too far. You need to move closer and just work at those distances. It doesn't matter how much your bird understands the concept. If they are panting and struggling to get the distances you want them to go, you cannot be moving them that far. If that happens and a bird is panting every single time they're flying, they may not be able to get enough oxygen to go around their body into their brain, that they can end up passing out, or they can end up, hitting a wall and losing control because they're so tired. So what we need to do instead is be aware of their body language. What you can see here is ZB is super eager to fly. She's not panting when she makes it to the perch. She's totally comfortable. She's able to fly with ease. She's doing everything totally strong, totally capable. She can move at those distances. That's what we want to see happening. If your bird is struggling and panting, you can't be moving that far. You need to move a bit slower, just for their health and safety. I know flying all the way on the other side of the room seems like a heck of a lot of fun, but if it means your bird could get hurt, then it's not the safest thing to be doing, and we just shouldn't be doing it. So your bird will develop those muscles, it's just going to take a little bit of time. And ways you can help this is actually using stationing. So a great way to help develop muscles if you're really wanting to get those longer distances is to work at different heights. And that's one thing a lot of people tend to forget, is that going straight back and forth to your hand is great exercise, but it's not fully dynamic. If you're starting, a bit lower and I ask ZB to come down here and ask her to station up, now she's working on a different set of muscles, or she can start to get a bit stronger. And the same thing applies if I wanted my hand up here and I were to station her down, then she can work on slowing down a bit. That'll really help strengthen their muscles a bit faster, really make sure you're strengthening everything, and then you can start doing those longer distances a bit better while you're waiting for them to really be capable of going that far. This same concept can also be applied to recalling, which is them flying from the perch to your hand. Basically all you do, exact same thing, only instead of having the target stick behind the perch, you would have it behind your hand, and you're just gonna, get them walking onto your hand, get them stepping onto your hand, getting them going, farther, exact same process. Nothing is different other than the fact that they are going from the perch to your hand instead of from your hand to the perch. So I hope that makes sense. I hope this video was clear. Again, do understand that your bird is not going to progress this fast. ZB already knows what to do. She's an all-star at this concept. So your bird is going to it might take a few days, it might take one session. It's totally different depending on your own bird. So take it slow, progress according to how fast they want to move. Don't move faster than they want to. And just watch their body language and learn the way your bird wants to learn. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was easy to understand. I'm sorry I couldn't have a bird that didn't know this concept to be able to show you how they would actually learn, but I hope it was good enough anyways. If you did find some things hard to understand, don't hesitate to leave a comment or send me a message or do whatever, and I will try to explain things better in a way that will hopefully make a bit more sense to you if you were having some difficulty. Thank you so much for watching and for hanging out for me here. I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.